Hello, this is Mary, the Psychic Animist, coming to you from Riversbend Sanctuary for our weekly tarot video. So this week we are on to Major Arcana number 13, which is actually the 14th because of 0 for the Fool, but the 13th card, which is the Death card. And the thing about the Death card is it's one of those, the Death and the Tower card are the two cards that people who, are not as in depth with the tarot, don't understand all the nuances with it. They get scared. People who start out with reading the tarot, or for those who are getting readings for the first time kind of thing. When the Death card comes out, it's scary, right? We've all seen movies with, oh no, the, psychic pulls out the Death card and shit's gonna go down. Yeah, it's not about that. The Death card is actually, I know I've said this before, one of my favorites, but it actually is one of my top 3 favorites of the Major Arcana. Death card is moving on. Death card is a beautiful semblance of our evolution. So let me start out by showing you the Rider-Waite, Death card. Now, if you notice, it is Death riding in on the white horse. So there's a few things to notice here. It's a white horse, right? Not a black horse. Unfortunately, we see negativity with black, darkness kind of thing, but that's not the case. Now, Death himself is always dark, skeletal, in, armor or black kind of thing. Kind of like the Grim Reaper, so to speak, right? But the horse is white, right? So you're seeing a change. It's like coming in, like Death is coming in to save you. And what else, if you'll notice on here, is there's a priest, there's a king, there are also peasants on here. And that is really showcasing you that Death doesn't care what your class is. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter, purple, it doesn't matter. What your monetary status is, what your gender is, what your race is, Death is going to come regardless. So that is also, a beautiful message here. So I actually have 8 total cards to show you guys about Death, because Death is just such a beautiful semblance of our evolution, as I mentioned. So when you pull the Death card, what this is saying is that it is time. Change is happening. The cycle with what isn't working for you is going to be thrown out. You need to stop, and it's inevitable too. When you pull the Death card, it's not just a message saying, hey, you might want to think about releasing all this stuff that no longer serves you. No, it's saying, hey, that door is closing whether you like it or not. You don't need that in your life anymore. You're moving forward. That is what needs to happen right now. And it is going to happen, is what this means. So this is from the Otherkin deck. And what you'll notice too, a lot of times the skull symbolizes death, but usually in tarot decks, there's always something that proves, shows you that the grass is greener on the other side, that you're moving forward, that there's something here. You see the bird, you see the flower, the color there. It's telling you that things will get better. This cycle, this section of your life is done. It is time to move forward. I'm sure I think I've even talked about it before, but I'm sure you've heard too that we tend to have 7-year cycles. And, those 7 years, it's a lot of times when relationships end, when people move, big life changes, a lot of times career changes in 7-year segments. A lot of times the Death card will get pulled when you have something coming up like that, whether it's career and lifestyle change, all kinds of things, but big changes. And it's all about our evolution. It's all about being more, aligned with a path with your soul, more aligned with what is right for you is all about the Death card. It's releasing, all this stuff that no longer serves us. It's closing one door, opening another door. Let me show you some more. Here is from the Marielle Tarot. And again, I love this. You notice the beautiful elderly woman, but also look at the color, the leaves, the change, the progress, right? And this is it's a flower and possibly an oak leaf. I'm not sure. But, also this is really showcasing that things die, every year. Think about, in the fall, how the leaves and flowers, everything dies off. and it goes into the hibernation and it reemerges the following year. You know, that's a death cycle. That's an annual cycle of death and rebirth. And when we change jobs, change our spiritual path, change, you know, our, even going down to how we treat relationships, how we treat ourselves, you know, our financial, this is across the board completely for our life, is death. We must evolve and change. If we don't evolve and change, we're stagnant and things don't work right. We get health issues. You know, we have emotional issues. We have issues with other people. We have issues with so much stuff when we don't allow progress and change to occur. You know, we're here to learn things. We evolve in how we educate ourselves and what information we're pulling in, but it's also about what we are expressing out to other people, to the world, and to ourselves. So there are a lot of times where death really is about you and how you treat yourself, that it is time to change that, time to change the way you're thinking, time to change the way that you perceive yourself, time to change the way that you treat yourself. So that is a big one too. Here is, I like this card. This is just cute. This is the Paulina Tarot, I believe. And it's just, again, it's death, but look at death is like flying off to the sunset. You know, it's not the sunset, it's a little weird, but you know, it's the same. There's movement, you know, there's change happening and movement, progress forward. This is a beautiful one from Shadowscapes, the Phoenix. And the Phoenix is such a beautiful signifier of death, you know, death and resurrection. And it's coming out, it's learning, it's being so amazing, right? The Phoenix, it's coming out of fire. So think about the Phoenix burning off all the shit that doesn't serve them, right? You know, just removing all that, sloughing off the stuff that just drags you down, and emerging so light and, you know, on fire with passion and beauty too. And so that is cool. Let's see. This is from the XIII Tarot. Yes, the XIII Tarot. And what this is showing is how, you know, the owl is always wisdom. So wisdom is always there when change occurs, right? When we move forward and progress. So death is really leaving behind, again, what's not working. And this is, you know, you've got the eclipse, you've got the change, you got going in. And I think this is like a tunnel going into. So this is more using landscape to showcase what death means. This is from, the unknown, wild unknown. And this one doesn't have any color or anything else. So it is, you know, to me, this is not my favorite card, not my favorite deck either. But you know, it's always change. It's inevitable that there's change. Now here is one, now I got to remember the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. And this is the Black Shuck. So, and I don't know if this is more Celtic or where this comes from. But so this is like the harborer of death. So this would be like the Grim Reaper or the Hounds of Hell type of thing. And what this is really showcasing with this card, it's a little different. It states, you know, this is a reminder that life ends, that death will occur for everybody. So make sure that you're living your life the way that you want to. So it's a reminder. And you know, it's also, the book states to build that relationship. When you have that fear of death, build a relationship with death, you know, like the Black Shuck or the Hounds of Hell or the Grim Reaper, is, you know, because they're not bad. You know, they're there to help us move forward, right, when death is there, but also to remind us to do better, to live faithfully by what we feel we should. So let's talk a little bit about how this relates to specifically to like love. So, you know, for love, what can happen when you pull a death card? It could be that you are, you're ready to change. Now, changes in this can mean that it's time for you to move on. It's not, you know, your relationship isn't working. You're ready to progress forward, find somebody else, or be by yourself kind of thing. But it can also mean that it is time for big changes in your relationship, moving to the next level. It could be releasing, like sitting down and talking and changing, like going to therapy, changing the way things are structured, the way your relationship works. A lot of time it does mean, though, it is time to move on. For career, this is most of the time mean transition, that you're actually ready to move on, move up, move to a better job that fulfills you better than where you're at. And financially, it means loss. You have lost finances. But it also means that you're adapting, that you're learning to adapt from that lesson of that financial loss. So it's not a bad thing. It's really about showing that you are ready to change your viewpoint too. So, that's not bad. For reversed, you pull it reversed, it's going to mean there's stagnation. You are resisting. You are not wanting to change. And that is not a good thing. This is a message. If you pull this reverse, like, you need to stop. You need to really reevaluate and move forward, because things are not working for you. It could be you have a very deep fear of change. You're scared to move forward. This is a reminder to look at, try not to be scared. Pull in that inner strength and change, because you are better than where you're at. Don't decay in the situation that you are. Especially if you're repeating negative behaviors, this will come reversed a lot too. For love, same. If you're resisting, if you're staying, you're stuck in a relationship that is not doing well whatsoever, is not good for you, not good for your health, your soul, then that's what this means when you pull it reversed. I've not really seen any good that comes from relationships when it's reversed, honestly. If I'm wrong and you have, please comment. But pulling death reversed usually means that it's not working. I would rather have death upright if I pulled it for a love rating, because you can change together too. For career, again, lack of growth. You are refusing to adapt. You're stuck. You're stagnant. You're repeating the same negative behaviors that is causing you to not move forward or move up in your position, right? For finances, this is you're failing to adapt. It means you lost. You are or have had a financial loss, and you're failing to adapt to it. You're failing to learn from the lesson that has been shown to you or put in your face. So again, the death card usually, when you pull it upright, I like it. It's really stating that you are done with this part of your life. There is something that you need to release because it's no longer serving you. You've completed the lesson, or it's just not working, and it's time to move on. Your evolution is occurring in your face right now, is what this means. And it's really beautiful, especially when, you don't know exactly what it means. Maybe there's not something big that's changing, like you think all the big things have to be your career, your relationship, where you live, that kind of thing. No, some of the biggest death card type of instances are when you learn to love yourself and to treat yourself with respect and forgive yourself. So that is a beautiful part of our spiritual evolution. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one quite a bit, and we will see you next week. Much love.